Okay, go back to your life. Hi everyone! I am so excited to be here. It is officially 8:30 and you know me, I like to start on time. I'm really excited because I've got someone special next to me. She is almighty, larger than life, although almost a foot shorter than me. We are related, so I'm very excited to be able to introduce you to her in a sec. Our topic today is how to rock June. Honestly, it is June. I don't even know the date. It's halfway through. All I know is we've got 2 weeks left to rock out year end and rock out month end and to get you guys to your goals so we can honestly blow out, sell out, move out the coolest virtual seminar ever that's going to happen at the end of July. And if you're not registered, immediately what you're going to do after you get off this call is get on and put your 40 bucks in and get registered. And if you're not registered yet, don't tell me. I don't want to know. You just want to get it done and say, I got it done. So my name is Nadia MacDonald. For those that don't know me, I'm very excited to be with you today. And I love that we have participants popping in. It makes me so excited. I love the first thing we jumped on, there was like 6 East Coasters on. I was like, oh man, we got to get the whole country involved. But I love that my East Coasters were first on the game. That makes me so excited. I am super pumped to be with you today. I know that you guys are all working your butts off. Some of you are sitting here on June 17th going, nothing's going right. It hasn't worked out. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Some of you are like, I'm killing the month. This is wicked. Let's just get me to June 30th. I'm going to go with most of you are the first part are like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where to go next. So I wanted to kind of bring on an expert that's done a couple year ends in her life. She's done a couple month ends in her Mary Kay career. And I thought with 40 years experience, I would just bring in the big guns, really. Bring in the big stuff. I wanted to give you a quick shout out. If you guys don't have a cool backdrop in your office, by the way, this blanket that you can order right now makes a really nice one. Just putting it out there. I would grab one for you if not. And it doubles as a beach towel. You can also wrap your kids in it too for cool marketing at the beach as well. Just saying. So ladies, what I'm going to do is I don't want you to hear from me. I want you to hear from the big guns, i.e. the 5-foot small guns. But I'm going to introduce you to a woman that showed me what business was all about. She definitely showed me what Mary Kay was all about. I certainly had nothing to do with what my mom did. I thought what my mom did was kind of cool. I thought it was really neat, but I wanted nothing to ever do with it. But what I did learn from her growing up, before I thought Mary Kay was for me, was I did learn how to treat people with respect. I did learn how to run a business from the heart. And I certainly did learn I learned that you could make money at this business, but I also learned that if anything you wanted in life when running a business, you had to run the business like a business. And this woman, I'm going to encourage you guys all to put your, thank you. You know what? I learned that you had to take this business seriously. And if you're on this call right now, guess what?
You're serious.
You're serious. You're also serious about running for your goals for June 30th. And you're also serious about seeing through what you said you were going to do. And those promises that you make to yourself all year long come to fruition right now in this month. And if you can't follow up and keep the promises you made to yourself, who's going to keep promises to you? So this is where we put the pedal to the metal. You put on your big girl panties and we get running for the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to introduce my amazing mom. She is a national sales director emeritus. All that means, it's a fancy word for she's retired and living the retired life very comfortably and lovely. I know she's going to tell you a little bit about her. I'm hoping she's just going to go right into how you're going to rock June. But she's someone that really took this business seriously, ran it to success, and is now enjoying the fruits of that labor. So I'm going to pass this over to this amazing woman. Her name is Linda MacDonald. So thank you very much.
Wow. Isn't that great? Hi, everybody. This is, yay, thank you. Same to you. You know what? I applaud you. And there's, hi, Raven. Look, there's people. I know. It's so lovely to be able to connect with you and see you all. Some of you I don't know, but doesn't matter. All you need to know is that you're in the right place. And every time I think about what this business has done and what it continues to do, it hasn't changed. I joined December 1980. Some of you weren't even born. So, you know, it doesn't matter, but what's happening today is this business is exploding. Canada is doing more now than any of the other countries. You have really rocked it through this COVID, through this pandemic. I'm very, very impressed. So you want to know that your customers, the people that you deal with, they are there to support you in your endeavors when you ask them for their support. People will support other women. Women especially like to help women. Is that not true? We are very much nurturers and supporters, and we like to see other people succeed. Some people more than others. Some people like to be behind the scenes and actually prepare the stage for other people. So you need to be, whatever your goal is, whatever it is, and I hope it's a big one, because don't aim small, aim big. And the bigger the goal, the bigger the pit in your stomach to finish off in this June. I know every June I would look at June and think, holy moly, how are we going to finish off that big goal? And I would take a deep breath and just say, okay, so what are we going to do now? What can I do to make this happen? I remember Ann Newberry saying to me, you know, Linda, we don't wait for things to happen, we make things happen. That's who we are as women. We make things happen, and we have the ability to do that so well, and we have the ability to multitask. And you have my permission to go full stop, full out as hard as you can. And then when July 1 hits at 12:01, you have the right to step back, take a big sigh, and celebrate everything that you have done these past 12 months since July 1 last year. You know, it's a strange time going from July 1 to July 1 or June 30. I always thought of that, but actually it's perfect because it sets you up for the next year. And one of the things I understand the company has done this year is everything you personally do in June is going to count for your seminar year next year. That, I've never heard of that before. That is just one amazing gift to you, that the company, what they've done in these last COVID months, I am so impressed with, because they've done everything to your advantage, knowing that you can't be face to face, but knowing that you can do it this way, you can personally be in touch with people by the phone. I want to tell you, back when I was working for June 1 year, we had to do everything long distance. We didn't have everything that you have right now. We didn't have cell phones or any of that, but we had long distance, which was very expensive. And my June long distance for 1 year was over $750 just in long distance. But that was my biggest year ever that I produced. We did, oh, I don't know, I forget what it was, but it was the most we'd ever done, and we were number 3 in Canada. So that extra effort in June pays off. You know, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And it's not where you were, but it's where you're going to be, okay? And these last 2 weeks, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time for you to really finish off your goals, as audacious as they are. And if it is too attainable for you, that you aim higher. You still, in these last 2 weeks, you can aim higher, whether it's sharing, recruiting, finishing off your star, getting in those last personals for you to go into DIQ, whatever it is. You got to remember, all that is going to count towards your next seminar year. That's absolutely fantastic. So you have to pull out all the stops. You know, it's funny, everything that you do as well, personally, is also going to build your unit as well. And you want to think about that. And this past weekend when I was at the cottage, and I was picking up twigs. We're in the woods, and so there's no grass to mow. It's pine needles and twigs and that sort of thing. And I was picking up a bunch of twigs, and it reminded me of the time, and Betty, you may remember this, when I went into a meeting and I had a bunch of twigs in my hand. And I used it as a visual analogy to say, and I took out one twig and I said, you see this one twig? When that stands alone, it can easily be broken. And I snapped it in two. But then I took all that bunch of twigs and I said, but when you have a bunch of twigs together, working together, it's impossible to break them. You could not break that pile of twigs together. And that's really what you, as part of your unit, is. It's you and I working together. And it's such a great analogy to show you that everything that you, working as an individual, really contributes to an overall goal for your unit. But, you know, just think with, in general, whatever it is, even for Mary Kay Canada, because you have really broken belief barriers. So don't stop. You want to really make this work for you. If you think you can't, you're absolutely right. Mary Kay used to say that all the time, that can't comes in cans. And so really, you want to change your mind, you change your attitude, and you really work on what it is that you really want to do. If you don't have a plan of action, you need some help to help you. You need to call somebody that's been there before you and done it. And I've noticed that, you know, you probably know, a lot of you, that I'm not on Facebook, but Nadia is generous and let me looking at her sometime. And I've seen people who have said, they've posted that this is their biggest audacious goal that they've ever had. And they're scared, they're nervous, they're wondering how they're going to do it. But I want to tell you that you're not alone in that. And Nadia really touched on that when she said, if you think you're the only one feeling that way, you're absolutely not. I will tell you this too, that the fear never goes away. And as long as you continue to grow and work towards your goal, that fear will always be there, but you will conquer it a bit at a time. I also read this, and I want to share it with you, that pushing through fear is less frightening than living with the underlying fear that comes from a feeling of helplessness. And you're going to experience fear whenever you have a new goal. Whenever you have a new goal, fear sets in automatically. So just recognize it and just say, you know what, I know you're there, but I'm going to do it anyway. Some people call it the bug of doubt that sits on their shoulder. And you know what, you just want to flick off that bug of doubt. It's interesting how every time that we have a plan or we set a goal for ourselves, that does step into play. But that just determines how determined you are to make the goal happen. I wrote down a couple of things, so I just want to share that with you. So I've seen miracles happen in June. I've seen people do such big things that it was actually unbelievable. And we wondered, how did they make that happen? But I'm going to tell you how they made it happen. They felt the fear and they did it anyway. And they worked a plan. Every day, you know what? July 1, as I said, you can take off. But every day now you get up and you're going to say, what am I going to do today that's going to get me closer to my goal? What can I do today? Who do I need to call? Who is it that's waiting to hear from me? I used to eat humble pie every June. And what I mean by that is I would suck it up and say, okay, I have to call people that I haven't been in touch with for way too long, whether it was customers or consultants, team members, whatever it was. And when I'd call them, I would say up front, you know what? I'm eating humble pie. I've been really remiss in calling you. And I wanted to let you know what's going on in the Mary Kay world, in my Mary Kay world. And I'm calling people that I feel may be able to make a difference. it's entirely up to you, but let me tell you what's going on. And I would tell them what I was doing. I would tell them what I would expect or hope that they can do. And then at the very end of the conversation, I would say to them, let me ask you, I'm crossing all my T's and dotting my I's. I'm keeping a list of everything that I'm doing. Can I write you down on that list? Can I count on you? I don't want I don't need a definite maybe. I really need a yes or a no. Would that work for you? And if they say yes, I would cheer and I'd say, hallelujah, yay, I'm so great. I'm writing you down. Can I count on you to do that? I will be following up with you. And believe me, I followed up with everybody that said yes. If they were a maybe, I'd say, I'm going to call you back and check. And if it was a no, I'd say, you know what, thank you. I appreciate your listening to me just the same. If anything changes, let me know. Or if there's anybody that you can refer to me, I'd be thrilled. I never ever ended the conversation without thanking them for whatever it was that they could do, because some people it's just not in their game plan. That way, you know, you can absolutely cross them off your list. So you just have to do everything that you think. When you take a minute before you go to bed and write down your 6 most important things list for the next day, and I highly recommend you do that, because if you don't, you're not going to sleep. Take a moment to think of the things or the people that you wanted to call that you didn't get to, or just go back in your mind and go through different things that you, all of a sudden a name will pop up. Write it down, and those are the ones that you want to start with the next day. One thing you can count on right now is people are home. Is that not true? They're home and you can get in touch with them. That's right. So you have an opportunity certainly to work with a lot more people in a shorter period of time. So keep a list of everything that you're doing. For those that are, again, finishing maybe the Court of Sales or the Princess Court or whatever it is, your director's personal challenge to you, that's what you need to be working on and what you can do, and that's how you get your plan. Fear and faith cannot occupy the same space, okay? And I remember Mary Kay, you know, she was so wonderful. When she spoke, you could hear a pin drop in a room because we were glued to everything that she said. But she talked one time about when she started her business and how challenged she was and how many times she got knocked down. She said, you know what? There's nobody in this room that has bloodier knees than I do, because I fell down more times than anybody else. But the key is I got up. And that's what you need to do. If you've been on your knees wondering how you're going to do this, you're going to get up off those knees and dust them off, stand up and be proud of yourself and get going. Because you know what, there's other people, there will be people who've already defeated themselves and who have stopped working. And that's the difference. You just keep working. The more you work at it, the more that will come. Every little effort that you put out will come together. And when you send those vibes out to the universe, it's like the universe comes back to you. And usually in ways that you least expect. And I would call those bluebirds that land on your shoulder. That is, you know, where did that come from? That wasn't in the game plan. But because you sent the vibes out to the universe, it works in mysterious ways. And Raven, I can see you nodding your head in agreement.
So Carol's like, ah.
Yeah, it's so true, isn't it? And you just think, man, I don't know how that happened, but thank you very much. And another thing I want to say to you, the ones that you expect the most from are usually the ones you get the least from. So you get it from where you least expect. And the only reason that happens is because you're working. If you give up, you're guaranteed.
So true.
It's so true. If you give up, you're guaranteed it's not going to happen. You've already sealed that fate. Raven, you're killing me. But if you honestly, keep going. That stuff will happen, and you can celebrate those gifts. It just brings you such a swell of joy. You know, so many times I feel that swellness of joy in my chest. When I'm with my family, I feel that way. I look around at my family and I just get so overwhelmed with joy. It's the same thing with your business. Is those things just, it's the paychecks of the heart that you really weren't expecting. So you know what? You want to reap all that goodness and all that from you actually working and reaching your goal, because that's what comes from all that. When you realize what's happened and you stand there and you think, you know what, I'm really glad I did rather than I wish I had. Just that extra effort that you thought wasn't there, pushing. And I will tell you one thing, and I thoroughly believe this, when you aim for the moon, and even if you miss, you land among the stars. You're going to be in the stars anyway. You may be further than you ever expected. You may be right where you expected, or you might be even a little bit short. But even so, you're a whole lot further ahead than you had been. And let me just remind you that everything you do in June counts for next year. What's your personal goals, your unit goals in sales and sharing? Holy moly. I just think, Linda, Rose, and your team, you guys are amazing with what you have done to make our business better. And I just want to share one more thing. You know, I always felt that Mary Kay was the cream of the crop and the best of anything that was out there. And I've had that proven to me just recently with another company that I just find, I don't know how they navigate it, to be honest. When we're so used to working for 50% commission, and we're so used to be paid for everything that we do and then some, I want to tell you, you are in the best company in the world. And after, I don't know, I joined in 1980. How many years is that now? This is 2020.
40.
You guys figure, oh, it's 40. Okay.
I'm 40, so it's 40.
Oh, that's right. It's 40. Thank you. Oh, I mean, really, I'm as excited about Mary Kay today as I was when I started. And back then I was pretty dumb. And I mean, I knew nothing, absolutely zippo dippo do. But I listened to all the teachers, and you guys have fabulous teachers. I know that. I listened to what other people had done. Mary Kay had done that herself when she wanted to be the queen of sales. She went and talked to the queen of sales the previous year and took copious notes, she said, so that she could do what that person had done that year. And she did it. And she absolutely did it. I know if I hope you've all read her story, but that's the thing. If you want to do what someone else has done, talk to the people who have done it. And you still have time to do that, even with 2 weeks. If you're wondering where to go next, call somebody that's done it, and you'll find out the scoop to do that. Isn't that true, Edna Savoy? What, going for the top in sales this year? Absolutely. You know, she has not stopped stretching. And that's what I love. The stretch it's like an elastic. You can stretch yourself a long way. And when you think you've done it all, trust me, there's a lot more to do. And Mary Kay always said, the best consultant, the best director, the best national has not been found. There'll always be someone who will do the and then some. So why not do the and then some for yourself? I just want to say, finish off big. Don't stop. When you think you can't, you can. Just keep going. Put one foot in front of the other, and you'll get to where you're going, and you'll celebrate the victory. Thank you for letting me share with you tonight. And if anybody has, any questions, they certainly have.
Yeah, you got time.
You've got time. 5 minutes.
Sorry, they got as much time.
Yeah, as much time as you want, I guess.
Anybody have any questions?
Yay, thank you, Linda. Oh my gosh, you're amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Honestly, you know what? You spoke to my heart. You hit some key points, and I really love the analogy of the elastic. You know, when you think you've gone far enough, you could probably get some more. It's so true. We all know we've all been so close to giving up on goals, but just keep pushing through. So thank you for your time. Thank you for thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're quite welcome.
Anybody else have any questions?
I was wondering if you would mind saying that quote again. I got the first part. Pushing through fear is better than living through the underlying fear.
I can absolutely do that. Pushing through fear is less frightening than living with the underlying fear that comes from a feeling of helplessness.
So
good. Thank you.
You're welcome. You know, that analogy, feel the fear and do it anyway. The fear means false evidence appearing real. Imagine false evidence appearing real, and that's fear, and we let that overtake us. That makes me mad. That really, I get irritated.
Don't get her mad.
And when I get mad, I get moving. And that's how I became a national, was because I got mad. I was mad at myself for not doing what I said I was going to do, and I was waiting for other people to make it happen. And that's when I realized, if it is to be, it's up to me. You got to make it happen. When you start moving, others will move with you. That's really key. And that's where the speed of the leader is the speed of the game, right? So you, and by your reaching your goals, you are leading others. You don't know who's watching you. That's the other thing I'd like to say. You have no idea who you're inspiring. Time and time again, you'll see the queen on the stage, and she'll be saying, I sat at the back of the room and I listened to so-and-so. And I was, you know, she spoke to me. She spoke to my heart. And if she could do it, I could do it too. People come up to me still today and say that I made a difference. And a lot of times I don't even know who they are. But that's what you spread when you are out doing what you're doing. You touch so many people's lives. So Nadia had mentioned, you need to register. Imagine seminar. You can do it from the comfort of your home. You can dress up in your evening gown. You can have blue jeans or shorts on and have all the pretties at top. It doesn't matter. You can celebrate. I'm going to be here celebrating because seminar, I mean, dear, I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to fly to Toronto. I'm excited.
The other thing I wanted to mention, and I'm not taking away, but I just want to add to what she said, that you don't know who's watching you. Growing up in a Mary Kay household as a child, not really knowing what the business was, I always watched. I watched how she handled my dad. I watched how she handled my brother and I. I watched how she handled complete strangers walking to our home. I watched how she handled her team, how she handled women having complete meltdowns, how she handled women being on the top of the top and reaching all their goals in the world. I watched all that. And it was a teaching that she did. It was what I picked up. So it's not what's taught, it's what's caught. And when she mentions you don't know who's watching you, if any of you have children or little ones around you, I want you to know that they are watching you. And if you decide today that you are too far from your goal and it's over, trust me, that is the lesson that you just taught your children. If you decide today that I've got 2 weeks left and I am running all out and I am all in, guess what? That's the lesson that they're going to take with them. So when they're stuck in a place of, do I stop or do I keep going? Those lessons are going to come back to show them over and over and over again. So I just want you to know that there's a couple more people in your household that are watching you run. And this is the time, and hopefully it's today, June 17th, that you make a decision that you're all in and they're going right to the bitter end.
That's, you know what, that is so true. So true. Don't realize it. You just don't. I get things said back to me that I did back then that I didn't realize was caught. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and you become your mother, by the way. Just so you
Oh
know.
my golly, does she ever. And the other thing is they really didn't see the meltdowns. They never saw, when I was having a meltdown, it wasn't in front, or the disappointments and that was done away so that wasn't an influence as well. Because you do get upset. Any of you been upset at all? You get upset.
I just want to say thank you. It's just so nice to have the wisdom, to have the experience, to have, you've gone through year ends, for so many years, and just to know that, just that keep going at it attitude, and to surround yourself by people who've done it is so important. That's why I'm so glad to be connected with these directors that have put this group together, because it just makes it feel like quitting is not an option. And that's what we need in general.
Good for you, Angie. Angie, congratulations. You've set an audacious goal, and you go, girl. My dear, I'm really excited to. I did see your little talk, and I thought, wow, I was really impressed. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
They're going.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have a little, I think Carol's going to do a draw. So everybody that comes on, they do a draw, and then I send them out a prize. And it's going to be a really good one, because I got lots of fun June stuff that I like sending out.
It is so
Who's the
loud
winner?
in my house right now, so I apologize for any background noise, because apparently
All
everybody in my whole house decided to all start talking and slamming things around. So, is it Vonda or Vanda? Vanda?
Oh, I do see Vanda. I see your name. Vanda S. Yay!
Yes, hi. Thank you.
Reminds me of Vanda Cosmetics, which my mother sold when I was growing up and is now gone.
There we
Wow,
go.
look at that.
So
Cool.
Vanda, you
Oh,
make sure
really?
that you send your director your address, and make sure your director sends it to me. Oh, it's Marilyn.
Will do.
Marilyn
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Awesome.
Marilyn,
Thank you so much, guys.
So thank you, ladies. Last but not least, I'm not sure, just last little tidbit, I'm not sure if you know, but like skincare sets are on sale. Just a heads up. Just a heads up. If you were unaware, they're 20% off all
Wow.
of them. Yeah, that's right. We'll get you a volume firm. But no, they are I'm dead serious. They are 20% off. I'm funny, but now I'm serious. They're 20% off right now. If you are staying in this business for the next 30, 60, 90 days, the smart thing for you to do, as any business person would, the tire salesman, the pen saleswomen, when pens and tires go on sale, they buy low and then they sell high. So smart thing to do right now is to grab a couple for your shelf.
You can break them up.
That's right. You can break
And
them up.
make
You can
more
sell them
money
apart
even.
and make more. So if you are staying in this business for the next 30, 60, 90 days, 6 months, or 6 years, your smartest business decision today is investing in yourself and putting some product on your shelf that you can sell at full price in July and August.
Wow.
Last but not least, your entire goal this month, if you're running for a quarter sales, or if you're running for, getting your 600 in, or getting yourself active and opening up your store, you want to work on building skincare clients, because they are the ones that will continue to pay you what's called residual income over and over and over again. So the work that you do now in June, I promise you, will start to pay you again in reorders November and December. And there's a certain beautiful thing that's very expensive in December for a multitude of different reasons. There's Hanukkah, there's Christmas, there's all kinds of stuff that goes on in December that you need that extra money for. So the work you do now, I really hope you take it seriously, will pay you again at the end of the year.
Referrals even from that.
So we sign off. Congratulations, Vanda. Thank you for letting me share my amazing mama with you. And I just want to let you know that the skincare works.
Yeah, look at her skin.
Like FYI, look
She
at
looks
this.
amazing.
So I love you guys. Thank you for spending your Wednesday evening with us. And
Bye, everybody.
I can't wait to see you on virtual seminar rocking out. I'll be cheering y'all.
This is our highest ever participants.
Thank you.
32 participants. That's amazing. Thank you. Love it.
So Carol, I'll make you stop recording. 'cause I
Okay,
want-
I'll stop the whole deal. Okay, bye guys.
Love you all.
Thank you.